brain on jerk.
Yeah.
I just remember being a kid and hearing that and like, yo, I want to be able to create sound and manipulate sound in that way that's like inspiring.
For sure.
And I've seen the effects, the healing effects of creating a space where people just feel free to be themselves. I met Mookie and I was like, look, we could be at the forefront of this culture because Houston doesn't have this.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, let's really push this and do these dance parties.
Welcome to Who Do We Have Here, episode 14, and today we have a very, very special guest, DJ Elelvated, one of the founders of Soul Control. You can catch him every Tuesday at Off the Record for Choosy Tuesdays. You can also catch him every other Thursday at Room 808 for vinyl and chess. Definitely one of the hardest working men in the city, a connoisseur of culture, a conduit for its continuation, the wizard, AKA DJ Elelvated.
Elelvated, what's the deal? How you living, man?
I'm chilling, man. So we are fans of you and what you've been doing in the city and everything that you got going on.
Yeah.
But before the DJing, before we talk about everything that you've done, I want to know who is DJ Elelvated outside of the character. Who is that man? Who is that person when it's just you in your house, you in your room, you chilling? Who is that man?
Yeah. Who am I? You know, definitely native Houstonian.
For sure.
You know, really deep into the culture here. You know, grew up in South Park, right between on MLK between Griggs and OST.
Okay.
And,
What high school?
I went to a small high school called MCTC that was on TSU's campus.
Okay.
For a little bit. It was an alternative school that specialized in like computer maintenance, and one of those schools you can get college credits for when you leave. But I did all my sports at Jack Yates, and I was in the marching motion 2002 to 2004.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
But I you know, definitely a very creative individual. You know, very adventurous. You know, I'm a father. I have a 11-year-old daughter, a 9-year-old son. You know, just a lover of life, a lover of music. You know, just out here creating my reality, really.
Yeah, for sure. So, 2009, you started your DJ journey, correct?
Yeah, for sure. I was at Prairie View at the time.
So what made you? What was that inspiration like? What
so
got you there?
you know, growing up in South Park, you know, DJ Screw was, you know, a heavy influence, and I was definitely influenced by like the way that he scratched and the way that he mixed. He was more than just a DJ. He really put the South Side and Houston on a lot of music. You know, California, Ohio,
For sure.
a lot of soul music. The first time I heard No One's Gonna Love You by SOS Band was on a Screw tape.
Okay.
You know, so I have a lot of like key moments just as a child listening to Screw and really just learning about music through Screw tapes. And so in college, I was going to Prairie View and, you know, had my little hustle going on, working Craigslist.
Yeah,
you know,
I be trying to tell them about
I'm
Craigslist.
telling you, back in the day, Craigslist was a thing.
It still
you
is.
know? Yeah.
It still is. You can still find some jobs there.
Yeah, but you used to get anything for cheap, and so
okay.
I was at Prairie View, and you know, in 2 weekends in the span of 2 weeks, students are released like $30 million in overpayment checks, and at the time during 2006. There was one road in and one road out, not many like businesses that students could spend their money on. And so I just had an idea to like provide the people that I knew with what they couldn't get just normally. So it ended up being phones and projectors. And so I was in Dallas giving one of my homegirls a ride to Dallas because she was going to visit her mom, and I was on Craigslist and I found a projector out there. And when I went to pick up the projector, it was a set of turntables. And I was like, yo, how much for those turntables? I got them for like $50 and an old projector that I gave them. And that summer, 2009, me and my roommate at the time, DJ Sincere, he was, his name is Sheldon from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay. We probably practiced 8 hours a day for that whole summer.
When you saw the turntables, why did you like, I want to try this out?
I mean, since I was a child, hearing DJ Screw, I always wanted to DJ. it was like a thing. Like, oh, if I ever got an opportunity or got some equipment, you know, I knew that I was gonna go full in. You know, specifically the song "Love's Gonna Get You" by Boogie Down Productions.
I know that.
Yeah, Screw has this part, you know, and when they say this is your brain on drugs, and when they say this is your brain on drugs, and when they say this is your brain on drugs, I just remember being a kid and hearing that and like, yo, I want to be able to create sound and manipulate sound in that way that's like inspiring. Yeah.
Man, that's powerful, bro.
So when I saw the turntables, it was like, yeah, this is like heaven sent.
So you said they were $50 at that time.
Yeah.
How much are they now?
So those same turntables are probably worth about a couple $100, but
inflation
you know,
crazy.
yeah, turntables nowadays, the ones that I have, you probably get them for about $600 a table for an actual like vinyl turntable. Yeah.
Okay.
So I learned on vinyl, and I used vinyl all the way up until maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
You know, just being a purist.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I wanted to be a real turntablist, and so you know, I was kind of reluctant to go into like the controller route. So
okay. So in them early days, how were you approaching like getting paid? You know what I mean? Like
so
because I know you said you were doing your hustle.
Yeah.
So how did you make DJing profitable?
So the end of that summer 2009, I got my first gig. It was a girl's birthday party, and it was in the Phases, which is a dorm room, and she paid me $40. I had my turntables and I had my house speakers, similar to these over here.
For sure.
And you know, at that moment, I realized, yo, I can make money doing this. And so it was always okay, this is always going to be something that I add. And I went so hard practicing that I was actually good. And at that time, you know, I would have frequent just house parties just to kind of test it out. And so I just started creating my own events, really.
Yeah.
And eventually, you know, I was in school for another 3 years, and I found out that I could get paid by the school to DJ like the school events.
That's hard.
And so initially, that was really how I got paid, is I would get booked on campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was there anything other than DJing before that? Like, what is something that you wanted to do, or you didn't?
I went to school initially for agriculture, animal science specifically, because I just wanted to raise horses.
No shit.
Yeah, growing up in South Park,
you
seeing trail rides every, you know, I just had this fascination with horses. So, but my
is it still that way? Do you still like to do it?
Yeah,
I never rode a horse
I was
before.
just on the horse last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I literally went. There was an event, and they said they were doing a trail ride, and then they said after the trail ride they were gonna let people ride horses. So I went out there specifically to ride horses.
Just to ride the horses. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's a feeling just being able.
I never did it. I don't even know.
Yeah, you know, it's acquired.
How do you control the horse?
Well, you got to be fearless first of all.
See, that's what I'm saying. How do you? I never got the concept of how to make the horse go.
It's commands. It's commands, and it's like so with some horses it's clicks. With some horses, it's like you tap the spurs on their belly, and the more you tap, the faster they'll go. And then, you know, the reins is more to, you know, steer them. And then you pull back and let's whoa, and you know, to stop them. So, you know, the commands are pretty standard.
Oh, yeah. I never knew. I never even did that. So I want to talk about Soul Control for a little bit.
Okay.
Because the event I went to 2023 was incredible, and I've been hearing about it. That's the reason why we go. That's the reason why we went. So if I wasn't from Houston and somebody brought me to you and they was like, okay, explain what Soul Control is, and they wanted to hear it from you. So what is that?
So Soul Control initially is DJ Elelvated and DJ Anarchy. You know, he's now known as Mookie Copeland.
For sure.
And our purpose was to create, you know, unique environments where people could dance. At the time, 2015, the club culture was still big, and I mean, it still is big, but you know, there was this need for this alternative culture of, you know, spaces where people can actually dance, and it's not trap music. It's more eclectic music. You know, it's not like a section type of bass thing. You know, the the emphasis is more on the curation of the event and really letting people, making spaces where people can have a good time. You know, club scene could also, especially back in the day, you know, you never know what'll happen at the club.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, to really have a safe environment with people that are on the vibe that you're on. You know, it was very important at the time, and music was shifting at that time. You know, K Tronada was really just coming on the scene. I think Selection was also just coming on the scene, and so, you know, they brought in kind of this wave of music that was more upbeat, electronic remixes, you know, but real soulful remixes. And, you know, I met Mookie and I was like, look, we could be at the forefront of this culture because Houston doesn't have this. And, you know, let's really push this and do these dance parties. And I was already doing an event called Soul Control the year before. I was living in Detroit. And it was kind of like on some Afrobeat, Afro house, you know, funk, soul type of music. And so coming here and meeting Mookie, it was just like, okay, you're the only DJ that I see that can spin the way that I spin with vinyl. You know, you actually scratch and mix. And the type of music he was playing, I was like, yo, let's combine forces. And, you know, let's just run it. And so we had our first event. It was June the 6th, 2015. Back room, Alley Cat, which is a super small space.
I've been there before.
Yeah, we packed it out, which isn't really difficult to do, but
no, I mean,
but you know, the energy in there was just it was so alive and it was just so magnetic that, you know, we was just like, okay, we got a good thing.
It's still something to do.
And yeah. And we ran with it.
So how important, because you spoke about Mookie, DJ, aka DJ Anarchy, how important has he been to your journey?
Very important, you know. I think that one of the major things about, you know, having a partner is, especially, you know, coming out of college, you know, just coming into your more mature years is, you know, actually knowing how to work with somebody. And, you know, we were actually friends prior to us, you know, for a very short amount of time. But, you know, it was just like a natural progression, you know, so to have someone that is like, okay, I'm not doing this by myself. They have the same goals, the same values, you know, similar approach, different style, you know, but still complementary. You know, I think that's very important, and it's been, you know, a driving force of the longevity of our relationship. Yeah, we're actually celebrating 10 years this year. Wow. In June. Wow. So yeah.
Shout
It'll be
out
our 10 years of Soul Control.
How far do you want to take Soul Control?
I mean, Soul Control, I feel like, how far do I want to take it? I want to take it as far as it will go.
Yeah. Like the vision, I should say. Like, what is the vision, the overall vision?
The overall vision, that's a very good question. Overall vision for Soul Control. You know, we definitely have aspirations for playing in different spaces, you know, on a national and international level. It's something that we already do to a degree, but just more of it. Also, you know, the creation of our own sound to drive us into these spaces is very important. And so, you know, Mookie, he's definitely already, you know, ahead of the game in the production, and I'm doing what I need to do to get to that level to where we can operate on a level playing field when it comes to like the music that we actually putting out. I think that would also, you know, drive more interest in what we're doing.
For sure.
And I've seen the effects, the healing effects of creating a space where people just feel free to be themselves. They feel free to dance. You know, people, they dance, but, you know, when the last time you like just lost it to a song? You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about just like didn't think, couldn't, you know, just no thought, just complete, just reaction.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. When I went to Soul Control, that's the feeling I got from being in that environment. Because, you know, you go to certain clubs, you want to be cool in the section. You don't want to be doing too much, but Soul Control is a different, like, free. It's
like you're not cool if you're not dancing.
Yeah.
Because, and then the women there will let you know, like, what are you doing in here? Because this is a dance party. Yeah,
I seen all that. They was on the floor.
Yeah.
Sweating.
Oh, they get it in. And I don't see people getting it in like that.
What you mean don't see?
I mean, you know, just eruptions of like
Are you in those moments when it's going on?
In them, like on the dance floor.
No, like when you're DJing, like are you like?
Yeah, definitely,
Are you trying
definitely.
to be here?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's intentional.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool,
I feel like because we've done it so long, we know exactly what will inspire those moments. And I mean sometimes we get surprised.
Yeah.
Because we like to, institute some variation in the music that we play, and so a lot of times we trying out new things. And sometimes that first try is just the reaction is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's not always just dance music. We have every first Saturday for the past 6 years we've been doing Fantastic Voyage at Boondocks.
So explain that a little bit.
So Fantastic Voyage, we call it our, perfect intro to Soul Control.
Yeah.
If you're just hearing about Soul Control and you don't necessarily want to pay to get in, that's our monthly free party that we do. It's at Boondocks, which is a older dive bar that has a upstairs dance floor, and it's a wooden dance floor, wooden walls, so it just has this nostalgic feel, and it's super tight, super close knit, and so we pack it out every Saturday, and it's just like, okay, that's where you can get the rawest of us, because it's not like we are trying to make you dance the whole night. We go in and out of waves of different types of music. It's sing-alongs happen. It's all type of.
Are y'all practicing? Like you and
What do you
DJ
mean?
Anarchy? Like
do we practice together?
Yeah, before y'all.
Nah.
Oh. Damn,
It's
y'all
just
let it
a
go?
natural thing. Yeah,
That's crazy. That's good chemistry.
Yeah.
So Choosy Tuesdays is at Off the Record every Tuesday.
For sure.
But it originally started at Ball Kitty.
Right.
So explain to me how did Choosy Tuesdays come about?
So
Start from the beginning.
Initially, I have a relationship with, Steve and Seth at Ball Kitty just from, things that I've done with Sandman.
I didn't know Seth was. I didn't know Ball Kitty was Seth and all that.
Oh yeah.
Jonathan just told me that.
For sure.
I did not know.
So I hit him up, and I think I was at Sandman one day, and he took me over to the space, and I instantly got inspired. This was prior to the opening of it, and so it was real like, okay, this is a exclusive type of experience. You see what I'm saying? To be able to see the space prior to, and so I think I hit him up maybe a couple days later and said I just want to meet him there, just so we could come up with an idea. And within the time we met, and I let him know the type of vibe that I felt in the space. I wanted to create something that was more of a grown atmosphere, where the music was eclectic. It's a Tuesday, which at the time, and I don't even know what's going on in the city on a Tuesday, but nobody was really tackling Tuesday, to provide a vibe. So, we just wanted to keep it sexy and give something new to the city. Through this soundtrack and through this rotation of DJs. We've probably had, 25, 30 different guest DJs, just to add to the vibe. And it picked up. The first few that we did invite only, just to kind of keep it exclusive.
For sure.
And, eventually we opened it up to the public, and, the people, they loved it. And we ran it for 6 months pretty much at Ball Kitty before we moved here. Yeah.
So how did y'all get that? How did y'all get the transition to come here? Like, what made y'all?
We just felt like it was time. We wanted a different atmosphere, and the winter can be very cold.
For sure.
And that can also affect different businesses, just depending on what's going on. And so we did a one-off here, and we liked the venue. And we like the way that they did things here. And so it was like, okay, well, we're going to try it out and see what it looks like on a regular basis. And they were open to it. And so it was an easy kind of transition.
So you're coming in here and you're actually talking to the people that run Off the Record.
Yeah, for sure.
The conversations. So how are you presenting that to make them convinced? Like, what are your social proof?
I don't think we needed to do any convincing because of the track record that we already had with, what we had done for the past 6 months.
Okay.
I started seeing people come to Ball Kitty and Choosy Tuesdays that I would never see in any events, the bigger club promoters and things, just to check it out and see. It had gained enough buzz, to just kind of draw a natural crowd. Yeah.
When you see those things happening for your events that you throw, Soul Control, Choosy Tuesdays, when them things are just going like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
For you, what is that feeling like when you know that you're putting out things and people are making time to come out to your events? What is that feeling like?
Definitely, it's satisfying. You know, to have intention and to see your intentions being like well received. You
It's
know,
powerful, bro.
yeah, it is,
Yeah.
and people, you know, we assist in creating joy in people's lives, even if it's just for one night
For sure.
and they don't come back for months. You see what I'm saying? It's like we made an impact, and so to see the impact and to see and to hear people appreciate it, you know, and praise and all of this other thing, and then to see like naturally other people that are invested in it because they see it and they like it and they want to put it out. You know, like we had a Houston Chronicle, Houston Press, you see what I'm saying? People started hitting us up because of just the experience that they had, because they would come out and check it out and say, okay, well, this is a different experience for Houston.
And it's all off word of mouth?
Well, you know, we have our platform that we use,
For
you
sure.
know, we use RSVPs, so, you know, it was easy to retain people.
Okay.
And, you know, we also instituted certain things that just created natural forms of promotion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I was a DJ, right, or I'm gonna say this question first. When you're outside and you're not DJing, you just out having a good time, probably you and the young lady, you and your homeboys, and you go into a club and you hear somebody scratching and it's not. Are you a picky listener? Because I notice when I'm watching interviews now, I'm studying the host. Oh, I would have said that.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have pulled back a little. So are you like that when it comes to other DJs when you go?
I try not to be.
Yeah.
When I'm out, I just want to enjoy.
Yeah.
If I got to think about what the DJ's playing, or if I'm not, if I have to think about it and be like, ooh, you know, what is that? Brother, It's just like, nah, it's just like, okay, yeah, then I'll be picky. Or if I'm in a place and somebody comes up to me and asks me why I'm not DJing, you know, I don't necessarily, you know, I don't want to have to receive that, or you see what I'm saying?
Do that happen?
So, but it happens. It happens. It happens a lot. Actually,
that mean you doing something good. People like, yo, why you not out here? Why you not doing that?
Yeah, but I will say this. You know, since I started DJing in 2009, you know, the DJ community has grown immensely, and because of that, and because of just the nature of Houston being this budding city, this nightlife that's buzzing. You know, people come here for vacation now from little country towns and all over. You know, the competition, as far as like the skill level, is also present. So a lot of the DJs here are really, really good. Like I went to a party the other night and I was kind of blown away, you know, by the DJs, just because, you know, it's imperative now that you innovate and that your craftsmanship is on point, because people are going to remember that. You know, I'm hearing something going around like, you only as good as your last set. I don't necessarily subscribe to it fully, just because some nights you might have a night off. You know, I've been a DJ almost 20 years, and I've had some nights off. But you know, there is a you know, this collective desire to make every set impactful.
For sure. Yeah. How important is the DJ still in 2025?
Oh, the DJ is super important. Yeah.
I feel like it was a lost art probably a couple of years ago.
I feel like it's a resurgence.
For sure.
You know, and I feel like it's due to like the accessibility of the equipment. You know, people see, oh, it's cool to be a DJ. You know, like you're able to, you know, it's a form of expression just like any other art form. And, you know, there's a technical aspect to it because, you know, to be a successful DJ, you have to have certain things in place. You have to have relationships with people, relationships with venues. You know, you have to have, you know, some type of collaborative art behind what you're doing to even get people out. You know, you can, and in this climate, something has to be different about you. Yeah.
Okay. So if I was an up and coming DJ, how do I get those relationships? Like how do you get a relationship with an off the record or a bald kitty? How does those things work?
I mean, I would say, you know, find a DJ that you like. Find a DJ where you actually vibe with their style, and you know, talk to them.
Yeah.
You gotta be out on the scene.
For sure.
You know, you gotta be present. That's really what it is. If you're not present,
You gotta be
then,
outside.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you want to be successful, if you want to progress,
For sure.
you know, you can't be a closet DJ. You have to be present. People have to know you. You know, and there's your personality also is a big deal. You know, you got to be personable and likable to a sense. I mean, not a bah humbug or you know, standoffish, but you know, you are influencing and creating community when you're playing this music, whether you like it or not, because the people that are hearing it are gathering to hear it. So, you know, there's a bit of a responsibility and just a I don't know the word.
No,
But
you good.
yeah, you got to be a people person in a sense.
Sure. How are you liking the female DJ scene? We just had DJ Mulan on. I think she's crazy.
DJ Mulan is
she's
crazy.
Fire.
Yeah.
So how you feel about the female DJ?
I feel like they're coming with it.
Yeah.
You know,
You think it's competition between male and female DJs?
I don't think so. I think, honestly, female DJs, just because they are female, have an advantage when it comes to DJing. You see what I'm saying? I've seen female DJs that come in the game 1 year, 2 years, and they are doing amazing things. You see what I'm saying? So I think that, you know, there's a galvanizing element to it that, you know, just naturally create. I mean, women are naturally attractors. You see what I'm saying? And so I think that it works to their advantage. And, you know, the male DJs, I don't think they could even compare. You see what I'm saying? Unless they are already established.
Nah, for sure.
You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, and I mean, for the most part, you know, when it comes to promotion, you know, the promotion is for women to come out. You see what I'm saying? People want the men to come out, of course, especially when it comes to like bar sales and things, because they're buying all the drinks. But if the women are there, then everybody's gonna be there.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, I think that the women are killing the game right now.
Doing good.
Yeah, for sure.
They're killing the stuff.
Killing the game.
So is it Room 808?
Yeah, Room 808.
Room 808, every other Thursday, vinyl and chess.
Yeah.
How different is that vibe from a Choosy Tuesday?
Very different, actually. I think Choosy has evolved, and, you know, partially where Choosy is held, you know, is a part of the evolution. Like specifically tonight, we're doing a Queens of Soul tribute, and the music will flow a little bit better. You know, the vibe will be a little more recognizable, especially when you're dipping into those older music. You know, it's not like a lot of times, because of the nature of people's attention, you know, they grasp better to things that they are, you know, familiar with. But at Room 808, I go anywhere, you know, and the music, because I'm spinning vinyl, it's not like I'm trying to make you dance or I'm trying to make you sing. You know, the vibe is more chill. People are playing chess. People are talking, having conversations. So the music is way more eclectic. You know, it's Alice Coltrane, is, you know, Idris Muhammad, is, you know, it's Marvin Gaye, but it's also like MF Doom, and, you know, I may throw some like an old Nas cut or Missy cut, or, you know, it's blend genres for sure, but I also push, you know, people to intake new sounds and sounds that they are not familiar with. So yeah, that's the difference. Room 808 for me is more of a passion project, because I have been doing so many parties, and I wanted to create a space where I can play the music that I listen to at home.
Sure.
And so, you know, this was like, okay, this is the perfect space to where I'm not necessarily pressured, or there's no preface to the type of vibe that I'm creating. It's more just whatever I feel like it. Like yesterday, I went out to Richmond, Texas. I found a I found a store, a guy that had a storage, and it was just like thousands and thousands of records. And so I spent like 2.5 hours there digging specifically for that set. So this new next week's set is going to be completely different than the week before, you know. So it's inspiring me to collect vinyl and also to, you know, expand my music knowledge beyond, you know, what I can get digitally. Yeah.
How often are you doing that? Looking for new music?
All the time. Yeah, it's been all the time since I started DJing. In fact, if
you probably heard a lot of sounds.
Yeah, for sure. If I can't stop looking for new music actually, because I DJ I DJ so much. You know, for the last 15 years, I'm probably 3 or 4 times a week, probably more, especially doing weeks like Afrotech and things like that. So, you know, it can get stale, you know, when you playing similar or playing the same things, you know. And so just to keep my interest in it, you know, it serves me to, you know, search and seek new sounds.
And to keep people updated.
Yeah.
So I ask Mulan this question, and I'm curious to know your answer. When you're doing a set, like for instance what y'all doing tomorrow, how do you know what songs to play if you're coming before or after DJ and what not to play? Like, how do you not step on nobody's toes if that's something that y'all talk about?
Tomorrow my set is prime time and it's avant-garde. I plan on just going crazy.
For sure.
You know, avant-garde is like one of those first spots. I'm fresh 21, I can drink now, and here's a space, but it's also become one of those spots where you might have somebody who's been coming there for 10, 15 years and they just know that Wednesdays at Avant is the thing. So, yeah, I just, you know, I kind of will come at least an hour before my set just to listen to the DJ to make sure I'm not repeating any songs. And, you know,
does that ever happen?
Repeat songs? Some, not too often. I mean, not if I'm paying attention, not for me.
For sure, okay.
But, you know, like with Soul Control, sometimes we know some of our songs are overlap. So if I didn't catch a set and I know it's a song that he plays, I'll ask him, yo, did you play this? And just to verify.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a checks
and
balances
communication.
with it. Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation where you heard, when you're out and you're not DJing, but you hear the same songs on the next DJ set?
No. But I have had a situation where I was out and I heard like one of my sets.
Like, they be doing that?
You know.
Damn.
You know,
I know they be doing that.
It happens.
Do you ever like go up there?
No. I just take it as like you know, as in, you know, I actually heard it recently. I'm not gonna say who. But
no, air out.
No, I'm not doing that. But I just took it as like, you know, as like paying homage. Like, okay, that was cool. Because like I think about it like let's say Jazzy Jeff.
Yep.
You know, he has some, and you know, DJs period over the time have you know, routines that they're known for. Like for Jazzy Jeff is like Peter Piper. Now, if I hear another DJ doing Peter Piper the way Jazzy Jeff does it, I'm not gonna feel any way about it because it takes a lot of skill to do it that way.
Break that down for me.
So so Jazzy Jeff has this routine he does. He's like, so Peter Piper pick pepper and run right run, and he does like this whole beat juggle with it, where it's like Peter Piper. You see what I'm saying? And then at the end of it, it's like, and it goes back to this part that says, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So to do that, it takes some immense skill. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, well, you're a real DJ to have studied other DJs and see how they do it and then be able to emulate that. So I don't see anything wrong with it, actually.
You're paying homage.
Yeah, so,
you deserve it.
And it was a set that I don't do anymore.
Oh, okay.
And so that's another thing. That's another reason why I don't feel any way about it, because, you know, I'm always trying to innovate my sets.
For sure.
Because of, you know.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Man, I want to speak about your kids for a little bit, man. When you became a father, you have your daughter's your oldest, right?
Yeah.
When you became a father, what changed for you in that life that you can remember? Like, what was the biggest thing that changed for you?
Biggest thing, I started taking bigger risk, actually. Yeah.
Usually people would say you should do the opposite when you get.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, so I mean, first my children were planned,
For sure.
and so when they came, at the time I was working in corporate America, you know, um, and so I wasn't really at home for the most part.
Mhm.
I would come home, leave early.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I wasn't really fulfilled, with the time that I was spending with them. And so I felt like, I had to set up some things in my life to allow me that time, and it took like stepping away from, this traditional, work a 9 to 5 structure.
Mhm.
So after my daughter was born, I moved to Detroit for a year, and I studied digital fabrication at a satellite campus for MIT
Mhm.
in Detroit. And so when I came back to Houston in 2015, starting Soul Control, I also started my digital fabrication practice, which
Okay.
is Brand Elevated. Yeah.
Okay.
So, that was one shift. I started taking bigger risk because I saw the further vision, because I knew, okay, they're young now, but certain things needed to be in place.
Mhm.
And so it was also a discipline change. And I knew that going into it, that, to have children would require a different level of discipline from me. And so, that definitely transpired just in, the process of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got one more question before we get to our quick hitters. When you started in 2009 versus to where you are now, what is one of the biggest differences you see, or that you could point out that you did back then that was like, I would have did it a little better, versus to how you do stuff now, as far as with your scratching and everything.
Oh, okay. Well, mixing,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like I was too bad
It
back
wasn't that
then.
one I heard it.
Yeah,
Wasn't that
I
bad.
don't feel like I was too bad back then. Well, different. I think that since I started DJing, the technology has evolved a lot. And so I'm able to do things that I wasn't able to do. Now technology, they have stems where you can literally separate and isolate certain aspects of the songs, like the vocals, the drums, the more melodic tunes, and the bass line. That's 4 different tracks that I can bring in and out. So I think that the ability to manipulate the sounds a little bit more has really expanded, just the creative approach.
Okay.
And so really, I would say that, just being able to stay up with the technology, and, it's like a tool, like a paintbrush. It's just how you use it. You see what I'm saying? That determines the effectiveness of it. And I think that now people are really into the wow factor when it comes to music. Like they want to be like looking at you and like, yo, what you doing up there? You see what I'm saying?
That's what's gonna catch everybody's eye.
Yeah, for sure.
I like. So as a DJ, do you produce as well? Like make beats and stuff?
Yeah, I'm getting into it. I can't say I'm deep into it.
Oh, okay.
But it's definitely a a goal of mine. And I mean, I have the equipment. Really, it's about the time. I manage my fabrication practice, my kids, my DJing and events, and I travel a lot. So
You ever feel overwhelmed?
Overwhelmed?
Because you do be doing a
No,
lot on the page.
yeah. I wouldn't say over. Sometimes when the fabrication work gets, starts to compact, then it
Speak
gets
on that a little bit. The fabrication.
fabrication. So I started Brand Elevated. We specialize in prototyping, in 3D modeling, as far as like creating digital renderings for future projects. And then we also do brand activations, custom furniture, signage for businesses. Yeah. And so I've done some work with, VH1, Love and Hip Hop, Netflix, Puma, Nike. Just recently, I did a fashion show with Cash McIntosh's Fashion Night Out, and some work for Sugarland. The projects vary, and y'all can check that out. Brand
For sure,
Elevated.
for sure.
Yeah.
Brand Elevated. For sure.
Yeah, but people hit me up when they have ideas and they want it built in a physical form.
Okay.
I actually just recently did a sign for TEDx, the one that they had on TEDx Third Ward specifically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a pretty cool project.
So are you designing all this stuff?
Yeah, I design, fabricate, build. Yeah.
You know how to draw. All right. So we at the end of the interview, we're gonna get you out of here so you can start the Choosy Tuesdays. So this is as just a list of questions, quick questions. You can just answer them. So first tongue kiss.
First tongue kiss? Yikes, really?
Yeah, first tongue kiss.
First tongue kiss. Really?
Yeah, I want to know. It was a sloppy, all that. I want to know all
First tongue kiss. I was in a private school at 6 years old.
6 tongue kiss?
6 years old, yeah. I'm so serious.
Where was that?
It was I was going to a private school in Egglesholm.
How old was she?
6? We was the same age. Yeah. Look, you asked.
Damn. So where was y'all at? Yeah,
We was this is Egglesholm. We would be playing in the back. It was like a home that they turned into a little private school, and they had a like a piece of plywood laying on the back of the house. And so we went like under the plywood.
At 6? So who's orchestrating it? You or her?
Who orchestrated this? I think it was a mutual. I don't know.
Tongue kiss.
Yeah, just like I don't know. I mean, I've always been attracted to women, so from an early age for sure. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
First album that you bought.
First album that I bought, Crisscross.
Crisscross.
Yeah, Crisscross was the first album. CD.
Yeah.
That was first CD I bought.
First CD you bought.
But album.
Okay.
Yeah.
You bought it with your own money?
First album, no.
Okay, yeah, with your own money.
First album I bought with my own money, I would say, okay, so y'all remember there used to be this BMG catalogs that would come and you could get like 10 CDs for $1.
That sounds crazy.
You see what I'm saying? It was something like that.
Okay.
Where I tried it out one time and I got Cisco Enter the Dragon.
That's a great album.
Yeah, it was.
That's a great album.
Cisco Enter the Dragon. That was the first one I remember. I think it was a Mark Anthony album in there. And I don't know, there was some other albums, but the Cisco was the one. Like I literally remember every song.
Yeah, that's a crazy
I think
album.
100% Genuine was in that, and this was middle school. So
that's crazy, man.
I know how R&B was,
Yeah.
you know, in 90s, 2000s.
Yeah, I understand. So top 5 albums, any order.
Top 5 albums, any order. Whew. Okay, Usher Confessions.
Classic.
I would say Speaker Box, The Love Below.
Classic.
Which
album though? Speaker
Both.
Box.
That's one album.
Okay.
Yeah, one album.
Okay.
I would say Devin the Dude, Waiting to Exhale.
Okay. We never heard that one.
What else?
You know that one? You got, that's 3.
I would say Food by MF Doom.
I've heard some songs from that. I never heard their full
Yeah.
album. MF Doom can spit though.
Yeah.
You are.
And other full album, front to back, top. You know, I would say Marvin Gaye, Hear My Dear.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know the album?
Yeah.
Top to back?
Yeah, top, front to back. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's classic. That's cool. All right. Favorite Eminem song, favorite Lil Bow Wow song?
Favorite Eminem song?
Slim Shady to be exact.
Favorite Eminem song, definitely Renegade.
Renegade, okay.
Renegade.
That's what Jay-Z
Him
wrote?
and Jay-Z,
Okay.
yeah. Never been afraid to say what's on my mind.
He killed Jay-Z.
Yeah, Renegade. Favorite Bow Wow song?
Yeah.
Wow, Bow Wow. I think It was Bow Wow on that song, Shawty Like Mine.
That's his song.
Yeah.
That's his song.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay,
You feel me?
okay. That's cool. What is your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure? Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, you really know how to draw. That's crazy.
What's my guilty pleasure? Yikes. Why are we revealing all of this stuff? Wait, people gonna see this. What's my guilty pleasure? Do I have to answer?
You don't want to.
I ain't got to answer. Okay.
You want to skip it?
My guilty pleasure. Wow. Yeah, we can skip that.
Okay. What is one of your earliest memories?
Earliest memories.
Yeah, one of your earliest memories.
That's interesting. Earliest memories. I was actually born on the north side, in Fifth Ward, and we lived on Sandra Street. And I remember being 5 years old. Probably, my grandmother, and my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
I think they passed when I was 6, and so, but I vividly remember them. We had a dog, 2 dogs, Yogi and Wrinkles. It was a bloodhound and a chow dog.
You remember how they looked?
Yeah, I remember how they looked. Yeah. And I remember my mom used to play a Sesame Street album, like the vinyl, Sesame Street vinyl. Yeah, I actually just picked one up yesterday.
That's hard.
Just because I had that memory. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Earliest memories. We had this, it was like a Corvette, one of those cars that had a little battery in it back, but it didn't work, so we just used to push it. Push it. And then I remember, birthdays, like hitting piñatas, just being real early, going to church at a time, and just, I don't know, I could just remember not really understanding what was going on, like as a 4 or 5 year old, but I can recall like the music, and I mean, I think we were going to Mount Zion at the time, a little small Baptist church on the north side. And I just remember like wailing and howling,
That's crazy.
How those like Negro spirituals.
I love early memories, man. Those are beautiful things.
Yeah.
So, last question. What does DJ Elelvated want to be known for, and what can we expect from you for the rest of 2025?
What do I be known for? I want to be known for being an inspiration.
For sure.
Being able to impact people with my gifts. Also I want to be known for teaching, not necessarily like in the classroom, but, just creating environments for people to learn. With my fabrication, I actually have a call to, help to cultivate other fabricators because there aren't a lot of fabricators or black fabricators, especially in Houston.
Yeah.
And, it's literally technology and a skill set where you can create everything that exists physically in your reality, in your community. You can use fabrication to respond to problems that are happening, and replace things that you are dependent on. They talk about we are in a recession and, we are dependent beings, with everything that's going on with these tariffs. We don't have a choice but to pay them or, we just create our own products to where we don't have to buy and, be taxed on those things, That's, I really believe in like local production. And so, to be able to affect, commerce in that realm and, just, influence people to adopt self-reliance and self-sustainability. That's a big deal for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, Great interview, bro. Man, I
sure.
appreciate you for taking your
I ain't
time
get
out.
to paint.
No, you good. You good. It was a lot. We were supposed to be something completely different.
Yeah.
But again, we all appreciate you for, giving us your time before you do your Choosy Tuesdays, the legendary Choosy Tuesdays. I think you're one of the best DJs in the city, man.
Appreciate
like I said,
you, man.
we've been fans for a minute, and it was cool to catch up with you. Soul Control was an amazing event.
For sure.
When the next one?
Next Soul Control. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, follow
okay.
Soul Control. We definitely keep you updated.
For sure.
For sure.
But even then, those events, man, like the city needs those. The city needs those events where you ain't got to be too cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You see what I'm saying? Because I think that's the biggest thing. Just kind of being reminded of the impact that we are having.
Yeah.
That's what keeps us motivated to do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that's you. That's all you, DJ Anarchy, man. Y'all creating those vibes. So we appreciate it. We definitely gonna support as much as we can. And like I said, I'm glad you came out. You did it with us, man.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Appreciate you for having me.
Oh no, for sure. So that wraps up. Who do we have here with DJ Elelvated? You can catch this episode on YouTube, Instagram, and we're gonna show our paintings after. Well, he didn't finish painting.
I ain't finished my painting,
but we're gonna show it. We drew some buildings of the city, and that's the best we could do. So, yeah, appreciate you, DJ Elelvated. Who do we have here? Red Balloon, we out. Perfect.